All right, folks. So in this lesson, you guys are going to be reading about and hopefully learning about the ideas of social Darwinism and laissez-faire, a French term, laissez-faire. All right. So it's pretty straightforward. All I want you to do is read the excerpts. I broke it into different sections. All right. I didn't write this. In the first example, you'll read about Hamilton and the ways in which historically the U.S. government has helped industrial development in the business world, the economy, so on and so forth. I'm going to ask you to list three ways in which Hamilton's early government did that, and six ways in which that happened. The government helped the business world after the Civil War. All right. In the second section, you read more specifically about laissez-faire and Adam Smith in his book Wealth of Nations and the term the invisible hand. And if you look at the bottom here, the questions, I ask you to explain the meaning of the term laissez-faire and the logic behind the idea of the invisible hand. I ask you who published The Wealth of Nations. You can probably already answer that. What did he warn about in his book Wealth of Nations is the next question. And finally, this is more of a thought question here, a critical thinking question. Do you think there's a contradiction between businesses wanting government to practice a hands-off policy and regulating them, but at the same time seeking government assistance through taxes, tariffs, money, labor policy, and immigration policies? By the time you answer these questions, there'll be a video here too, talking about other stuff that I think I know I'm going to go into more depth than what you read here. So there will be a YouTube video for you to watch too, and some of the answers are found in the video. Then we get to a phrase, survival of the fittest, which was kind of an adaptation or a reapplication of Darwin's theories of evolution, but this time applying it to the business world and the social world. All right. And again, by the time you answer these questions, there will be a video here, in great part because this essay's explanation of evolution is pretty terrible. So I am by no means an expert in evolution, but I think I know enough to talk about it. And hopefully you do too, but I will anyway. So I ask you to explain the theory of evolution and how it was used to account for success in business. I ask you to explain survival of the fittest, which the answer which will be in the video too. What do adherents of or believers in survival of the fittest believe about a person if they are wealthy? What does it say about a person if they're poor? And what do survival of the fittest believers believe the government should do about the poor and why? And finally, you get an opposing point of view from Henry Demarest Lloyd, author of Wealth Against Commonwealth. And he wrote this in 1894. And he makes some arguments against laissez-faire. And I basically ask you to critique, to explain his critique of survival of the fittest or social Darwinism. All right, and then the very end talks about the pros and cons of the fact that this country was laissez-faire for a very, very long time, up until the New Deal. The government was completely hands off the economy. So I ask you to outline some positive and negative effects of laissez-faire, invisible hand capitalism.